Money Talks is sponsored by Astound Broadband, powered by
Bear in mind
Grande.
that presidents control neither the stock market nor the economy. The U.S. economy is a beast with so many different things affecting it. Presidential influence is limited to nominations and budget proposals. Since its creation in 1957, the S&P 500 has achieved a median annual return of 12.9% under Democratic presidents and 9.9% under Republican presidents. However, if you look at the CAGR, which stands for the compound annual growth rate, Republican presidents lead in return at 10.2% versus the Democrats of 9.4%. So a lot of numbers there. Well, let's take a closer look in tonight's Money Talks.
The presidency, we talk about it quite often, that it doesn't really affect your investments if you have a plan.
The average yearly return for the S&P 500 is 10.64% over the last 100 years. And that is during a run of many different presidents, both Republican and Democrat.
What we tell people, it affects very small with different policies and maybe tax rates or different regulations on people like myself or just a financial network or financial sector in general. But ultimately, man, if you have a plan and you stick to that plan, usually you come out on top of it.
And that is why Rojo says you need to be prepared. But there is another important tool that he's using right now in this time of uncertainty.
The big tool, and I'll tell everybody this, is right now making sure, regardless of what happens, you are rebalancing your portfolio. Yeah, so rebalancing your portfolio, and that's one of the things that we're doing right now, just as in my practice. Rebalancing your portfolio will help protect you from some of the losses just in case something happens. So again, we talked about it on an earlier topic, a couple topics ago, but your aggressive investments are going to grow faster than your safer investments. So what you want to do is you want to shave off some of your aggressive investments or your earnings and move them down into your more safer investments and get your portfolio back intact into the plan that you originally started with.
Rolanda says, and it makes sense, that right now, heading up to an election, his profession is more like being a counselor right now, just because so many people are very nervous.
The fact of the matter is the consumer confidence is low right now, and it's low in almost everything, right? You go from real estate to just buying groceries, goods, consumer confidence is very low. And so you couple that over, it spills into stock market and investing and all those things. But we try to tell people, regardless of what happens, if you stick to your plan, and it's an old football term, if you're going to plan, you're going to execute, then you're going to adjust, and then you're going to execute again. And so that's what advisors are for.
Additionally, Kamala Harris has proposed raising the corporate tax rate, and Donald Trump has proposed the opposite. Both changes could impact the stock market and the economy. However, you must remember Congress has the final say regarding budget proposals, and lawmakers have no obligation to approve specific policies.